is a video game if not a conversation between these two parties?
Yeah. We did it. We defeated the root of all evil, I guess. This is where the run ends. We have new challenges every week for thrill seekers. Also, Hilbert Hotel might always have a new surprise or two. Make sure to check the Steam Workshop.
Well, since Shade suggested it, I suppose we should briefly discuss the modding scene before we wrap up this review. Through Hilbert Hotel, you can use the keypad to input a code for a custom world created by fans. Using the Everhood 2 modding tools, anyone can create and upload their own hotel rooms accessible via the elevator. After being available for a full year, the game currently has 31 modded rooms available on the Steam Workshop. Wait, only 31?
You know what? Why not?
It never ends in Everhood. I'm in this deep, screw it, let's review them all! As a quick refresher, Everhood is the video game series that is trying to drive me insane. Luckily, I already am, so I have endured. Let's see if the mushrooms can summon despair in me that the gnomes could not. Maybe they'll even surprise me, who knows. Because the battle system is so innovative, mods for the games are a no-brainer, and many talented developers have stepped up to the plate to stamp their names on Everhood history. Every one of these mods are different, but have quirks that are prevalent across them. First of all, unless the mod gives it to you, you do not have any of your items or experience. That means level 1, no talismans, no death defy, no weapons. You are weak, and there's no getting around it. What this means is that Everhood 2 mods are very hard. If you wanted a challenge, it's not gonna get more bare-knuckle than this. On the subject of not having our items, you are not able to open the inventory while in a modded room, and the only way to actually exit out of a mod is to use the menu during a battle. Most of these mods also share some bugs. In the main game, the lightning that follows some notes doesn't hurt you, but in many of these mods, with the exceptions of like 2 or 3, they do somehow. There's also quite a nasty glitch where if you hold down the button to absorb multiple notes in a row, one of them can actually hit you before the hurt box vanishes if you cut it too close and ruin your combo. This would be a major annoyance throughout my modded misadventures, and just another tiny thing that makes these mods a little harder. You see, the reason these bugs are so common is due to issues with the modding tools provided by the developers, and most of the modders were likely unaware or unable to do anything about them. It really illuminates how good we have it that the vanilla game's combat is as polished as it is. It's also worth noting that the Hilbert Hotel lobby takes longer and longer to load the more mods you have installed, since that's where you access them all from. Maybe it's starting to sound like this endeavor isn't worth it. However, odd mods for cult indie games are basically the height of obscurity, so I feel a sense of obligation in documenting these strange hidden worlds. That said, it's time for the mods themselves, going in order of newest to oldest. First is I'm Not Crazy by Mr. Epic, a very active member of the Everhood modding community. This is an extreme difficulty 8-minute gauntlet where there is no enemy and no fighting back, just pure dodging. You can challenge its 3 colored sections individually, or if you've got a screw loose, do the whole thing from start to finish. It wouldn't be a mod showcase without these types of challenges that are impossibly difficult for difficulty's sake. It helps that the notes can be seen from far away, at least. Now I may have the high score on Doopy Dragon, but this challenge was beyond even my ability. Completely unbalanced, but good design. Needs work though. Festival of Death Moon, also by Mr. Epic, is another pure dodging challenge, but I quite like it better than I'm Not Crazy. It's easier for one, and it has these neat moving notes that shift lanes upon entrance. Yeah, this is super cool. The song and aesthetic make it feel like a real party. It even comes with its own hotel room that you can walk around in and interact with stuff. If I'm Not Crazy represents impossible difficulty, then Festival of Death Moon can settle into challenging, the type of difficult where it's tough, but still fun to do. Castle Gargoyle by Bongo Guy, who also made some of the music featured and is a 2-time mushroom collaborator. This is where all of the mushrooms who are too cool to party come to hang out. You can battle 3 of them, but the rest do nothing because the mod is blatantly unfinished. This was when I realized that you cannot back out of a battle you enter without exiting the mod entirely, so if you get in one, you'd better clear it if you want to continue. 2 of the encounters that work lack any way to fight back at all and just trap you because of this. It was actually a bit of a blessing that most of these battles aren't implemented, since interacting with some of these mushrooms is the only way to progress, and that would have been annoying to redo after a soft lock. The castle is an MC Escher-style labyrinth leading you down 3 colored paths that obviously are not complete. And I feel like this place would feel a lot more like Everhood if the outlines were any color besides white. The most unique aspect of the battles is that notes can appear beyond the interactable track for a grander scale, though they can't touch you. Makes you feel like a wave is passing over you, man, and and the music is appropriately nice and chill. After clearing the final battle on the orange route, I was put in a castle wall and couldn't move, and since you can't open the menu in the overworld, that meant I was soft-locked, and I had to close the game. JorrinQuest by Saren. This is easily the most in-depth custom world, as it tries to be its own full story campaign with secrets and different endings. We stumble upon a party of adventurers stopping at the Hilbert Hotel on their way to go kill God, but one of them is a traitor. The leader, Sir Hogard, instructs us to battle each of his companions to gather evidence so we may discover who the rat is. Is it Ulfgar, the dwarf who is always sleeping, Aurelio, the spinning wizard, or Dave, the winning lizard? Perchance, could it even be
Hatsune Miku!
JQ boasts 8-ish unique battles to fill out its campaign. It gets off to kind of a rough start with Hogard, whose fight is annoying because the guy likes to spam fast notes followed by black fast notes, which really sets the stage for how jank these mods can be. Because you're so weak, the enemy's massive health pools make these encounters drag on for very long. And this will not be the last mod to suffer from scumbag boss syndrome. Ulfgar and Aurelio are unique in this mod because they're the only two whose tracks don't loop. You don't need to beat either of them to collect their evidence, only survive, Everhood 1 style. However, you do need to defeat them before the time is up to get Ulfgar's pickaxe and Aurelio's power gem. Unfortunately, the mod is glitched, and doing this does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we did it! Oh. Yep, still sucks. Excuse me? You just... But I did! What the hell?
You see, there's a side quest you can do where you gather ingredients to assemble the Impossible Burger to unlock the Impossible Door and the true ending. It gets that name because doing this is impossible, as Aurelio's power gem is one of the ingredients and Ulfgar's pickaxe is needed to get the milk. So, sadly, I'm locked out of the mythical 8th fight promised in the mod description, which is a real shame. So I guess my favorite fight in the mod is Lady Bones, which I'm just now realizing is a pun on Lazy Bones. Look at all those funky skeletons. Finally, a battle that appeals to me! Even though the campaign is built on its meme power, this is a very high-effort shitpost and truly commendable work on both a visual and writing front. I'm proud to say this mod can be very funny.
Dumbass, you say? This cannot be a mere coincidence. No! Me, friend, with a fucking wizard? Never.
If you get the code wrong for this locked door, a semi-secret battle occurs, which is also not bad, and using only 3 lanes is unique. Dave is easy to miss entirely, but you can reach his room by going to the back door of the carriage and knocking 4 times. Dave is a gambler, and so his notes are in card suits, you have poker chips thrown at you, he even believes in the heart of the cards at you. Man, this rocks. The presentation is so good that it almost makes me forgive how hard the fight is. Almost. After defeating Dave, we are challenged to beat him again, but this time do it in 1 hit. Oh yeah, it's that game again. And this was... well, it wasn't too bad, really. You know, it only took me 58 minutes to crush the gambling gamer. Nearly an hour. That's brutal. Easily the toughest encounter in this mod. I believe this bonus challenge is why the mod description says maybe 9 battles, because one-shotting Dave turns his fight inside out. The trick was to memorize and optimize the path through the opening section's blue notes, but not savor them because the sections immediately after are high pressure. Rather, I racked up a good combo on the final section, then once the track finally looped back to the opening, put all of that practice and memory into effect to more easily build the charge I needed. Fortunately, Dave doesn't have much health, and a cast of around 50 is enough to eliminate his remaining life points.
Transcendence.
After assembling everyone's evidence, or just some of them, Hogard holds a hearing of his who's who's, handing horrible news upon the heathen we choose. Whoever among the 5 we finger as the betrayer will determine which of the 5 endings we receive. But screw that for now, actually. That idiot Ulfgar is finally out of bed, which means we can now go into his room to discover that there isn't a wall behind it, and we can slip out of bounds. By doing this, we can access the bathroom that Ulfgar was supposed to open for us to find spoiled milk that we can't do anything with because LB is outside. We can also check out some parts of the secret locked room, like this text establishing the link between purple and paranoia. By the way, if you don't want to one-shot Dave for the card, you can just steal it by going into his room when he's not there, so I just did that for bragging rights, I guess. Hogard tells us at the start that the traitor uses purple notes to help us figure out who it is, but after battling them all, no one else actually used those notes, except Hogard himself. In the fight with him, he can use 1 of 4 spells to use each color of notes, but when casting purple, an invisible 5th spell can be seen. When we accuse Hogard of self-reporting, this makes him mildly upset, so he kills his friends and becomes the final boss of the mod in this really asinine tough fight. He starts busting out the black notes and going turbo mode, and the odds are against you, of course, because these mods are glitchy. Fuck.
Why do I keep getting hit in the middle of that? That's not good game design. Oh, come on. I had a good combo. What? That's bullshit. Yes! Oh, yes! Fucker. Fuck off.
Beating Negagar gets us the bad ending, and we are encouraged to find the truth by making that burger so the 5 friends can realize that we were the snake all along, just trying to destroy their friendship. But I'm not doing that, so here's Dave's ending instead.
After the death of Dave, the Wells March finally embarked on their quest to kill God. Unfortunately, they couldn't even make it out of the hotel. Without the wealth of Dave, no one could pay the gargantuan bill of the Hilbert Hotel. All they could do was flee from the cops and go to the streets, trying to repay the debt. Hogard, as paladins do, turned himself in after just 2 minutes. He was sentenced to 1,062 years of free labor. Lady Bones was hired by a purple wizard to serve as a temporary castle guard. What? Lady Bones is a Rob? Ulfgar had to sell his titles one by one, eventually raising a small sum. With that sum, he paid Hogard's bail. Hogard got arrested 2 days later after trying to slay some monsters for loot, murder of mushrooms. Ulfgar had to spend all profit of his bestseller, Lonano, to get him out again. Meanwhile, Aurelio tried to temper with a door to go back in time and erase the room reservation. They got arrested by the time police. The faulty door caused a rift in the time structure, accidentally erasing all hours worked by Lady Bones. Lady Bones was fired due to lack of productivity, and she didn't get a single paycheck? To avenge her, the boys set the castle on fire. To repay the damage, the authorities tried to confiscate the last of the Wells March's possessions, Ulfgar's sheep. However, the sheep sold Ulfgar to the authorities instead. Lady Bones tried to appeal to the court, where instead was accused of multiple cases of copyright infringement. The quest was suspended indefinitely. Whoa, that's the best ending.
Beatdown in Boiler City by Hell 9000, based on the game Anton Blast. This mod is impressively faithful to the gotcha. Did you think I would actually move on from JorrinQuest without seeing the true ending? Who do you think I am? One of those critics who hate on things they haven't even seen? No, I pride myself on being thorough. Of course I figured out what was wrong and got it to work. You see, if you look closely at my character when I enter the carriage, you'll notice it's smooth on the left, but there is a brief loading error on the right. This is because one of these clips was recorded after I had already done the bad ending and then reset to go look for secrets. My save data was causing a different version of the map to be loaded after defeating Aurelio and Ulfgar, which is why the triggers for beating them were getting ignored. So I re-entered the mod, specifically chose not to load my prior save data, and lo and behold, everything was working now. And there you have it. If you play this mod, go for the true ending first, because it might glitch if you get a different ending instead.
Please review your experience with the Wells March Impossible Burger. Rate the dish. Kill me. Thank you for your feedback. Your answer has been registered.
Using the burger, we enter the hidden room and gain wisdom. I neglected to mention, this mod also has a lot of decently cool puzzle solving involved in getting through, like finding a bone key in a ribeye steak by burning all the flesh off. Only through smarts may we find the truth and bring it to Hogard so they may all realize there never was a traitor. The true final battle is against every member of the party at once, including Ulfgar's sheep and the passcode security door. The bad ending boss was tough and took me 16 minutes to overcome. This one took 46 minutes. Its league's more challenging, but also a lot more fun, since the other fight's faster pace made it glitchier. This part, where you absorb and jump and dodge back and forth to rack up your combo while avoiding the notes, is cool and very exhilarating. There's an art behind charting a fun battle. To hell with this final section, though, where all of their note patterns are stacked up at once. It's sensory overload, man. But wow, what a send-off. I was so close to not even seeing this, which I now get to share with all of you. I am reminded of what made Flash games feel so special, and the beauty that can lie buried within these oft-overlooked hidden worlds.
Yeah! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're too kind.
Beat Down in Boiler City by Hell 9000, based on the game Anton Blast. This mod is impressively faithful to the game's art style, and the 3D animation for the titular Anton is pretty darn sick. But goddamn if he wasn't a son of a bitch to put down. He has 4,000 health to soak up your weak level 1 attacks, and his moves are, let's just say Satan learned the hard way not to fuck with Anton. This is also the first mod so far where the lightning trail glitch is present, which is an extra hazard to watch out for. That health pool is seriously disgusting. Whittling that down took 6 entire minutes. After surviving the reddest man who ever lived, we enter happy hour like in the game and have to escape the room back to the elevator out. Meanwhile, all sorts of crap tries to stop us. This mod is a charming love letter to the game in every aspect. It makes me glad these two worlds briefly crossed so I could get a look. Now please, let's never do that again. Anton scares me. Clockwork Cathedral by Tomo is truly amazing. This doesn't feel like a mod. CC is a fully original experience with its own mood, world, visual aesthetic, and tone that we have accidentally infiltrated using the trans-dimensional power of Everhood 2. It wins most original for sure, and is very, very polished. Even the grammar is perfect. This mod's battle, the Mother of God, has the same health pool as Anton, but is much better balanced. The note patterns feel less gimmicky and more Everhood, but best of all, this is one of the fabled 3 mods that actually gives you your weapon. It's leveled up too, and you can use the vampire effect to get some health back. As somewhere that could be one of the worlds the dragon sends you to after failure, this is the closest one to official game quality. I love it. Though it makes me wonder what I should really be looking for in a custom world. Should the gold standard be a condensed experience with a lot of polish, or one that boasts a large amount of content? If we think of each custom world like one of the 5 Hilbert Hotel room service side quests, it's perfectly in character to have worlds where you explore, do one battle, and then leave. Thus, I've decided that quantity between mods is incomparable, and each one should instead strive to be the best version of itself. It's close, but I think we have our number 1, my friends. Fallen Light Being by Mushroom Man Toad. Well, you all know how much I like the regular Light Being fight.
I fucking hate.
No. The Dead Signal Spire by Alton and Akairuma is another story-driven world with more than one battle. We explore a lab, and I should say the sprite work for the characters in Overworld are all very nice. At the start, we're stopped by this cute little UFO fella named Kikuma, who isn't so bad. Then we fight the author's OC, Rose, and no, that isn't a hand coming out of his foot, that's the end of his tail, which you can't see against the black background. This battle isn't so tough. I beat it on my first attempt, which lasted only, 8.5 minutes! That health pool is appalling with how few notes it gives you to work with, but the song is awesome, so I guess it balances out. Next is their boss, TVPR, who has less health and better charting with more notes to absorb, so the fight is a lot smoother than the one previous. And what's this? Do my ears hear Powers of Destruction from Everhood 1 in the background?
Choking. There we go. Never mind. I see. I heard you're searching for God. You've already found it. I'm a fucking god!
At the end of the path, TVPR uses the lab to ascend to a multi-dimensional state of being, initiating a final boss battle against their powers combined.
I hope this isn't, like, too hard.
This battle is unique in that it blows. Oh my god, what a difficulty spike. It's so tough. After not dying a single time this entire custom world, I was stuck on this scumbag boss for 40 minutes, and it was all because of this one single part that I would die on every time because the notes move at turbo speed. That's going too far, man. The human eye and hand cannot react this fast. At least, not my human eyes and hands. God, I miss Death Defy. We're so naked without it. And I know it's just this one section that's overkill because after I survived it only once, I cleared the dang battle. Now, I am not a peak player, and this is just me speaking as a level 14 dumbass here. But what the hell were they thinking?
I feel like this is fine. Too fast, you motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck. God damn it. Fuck. God fuck! Ugh. Oh, whoa. How was I supposed to get out of that? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. Oh, God. Fuck! Ah! They freaking pinch you. It's not fair. Ah. Okay, that one was behind me. Everyone saw that. Oh, shit! Fuck! Shit, wait. I was out of the way. No one can react that fast. Dude! Why? No one can react that fast. You can't make it that fast if you're gonna do that. Frick. Fuck. Oh.
How could this happen? What wasn't somebody supposed to be in charge of balance? What, did they call in sick one day?
I guess it could be worse, like we could have 3 HP instead of 4. That small change has an invisible but major impact on the difficulty. Overall, a cute mod with colorful characters and good tunes, at first, which ended on a BS Kaizo battle out of nowhere.
I think I'll put it below Anton.
Neon Alleys by Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I didn't know video games could make Everhood 2 mods. At the start of this one, you can interact with these balls to quickly warp to different fights, which I did not know at first and accidentally spoiled the final boss immediately.
Shouldn't there be a prompt, yes or no, to do these fights? What if I don't know which is which and touch the wrong one?
That aside, this is another funny mod with a bunch of quirky battles and goofy NPCs. The idea is that we're in the Neon District from the main game and are exploring the back streets, which are populated by hoodlums. Hey! Think you can just walk right on through here and not be silly? I am silly, look at my hat! There are 5 battles plus a bonus, so this mod has the second most content so far behind JorrinQuest. The final boss is considerate enough to give you a checkpoint, but it has 8,888 HP and gives you too few notes to work with, so I deemed it impossible tier and moved on. Or did I?
Psst, come closer. Do you want to know a little trick? If you're playing one of these mods and you hit F7, voila, you are invincible! Welcome to debug mode. This is used to aid mod developers in tweaking their battles, but regular players like you and me can use it too. And to think I just happened to stumble upon this literal game changer while looking over the game's Steam news. Now with the power of God and Game Shark on our side, let's go see that ending. So you don't actually have to defeat any of the enemies in this mod, just survive till the end. After clearing the final encounter, Shade slips into something more comfortable and cuts us some slack. The last battle, which is not part of the 5 selectable ones, is actually the credits, which, to be fair, is very creative and cool. Oh, and I don't have God mode enabled, by the way. The notes here really can't hurt you. Also, if you deplete the credits HP, you'll get stuck in a wall, so don't do that. It might have been better if the final boss just didn't have a health bar instead of the HP being really high, because then I wouldn't have made an ass out of you and me and elected to cheat instead of hanging in there. Oops. Steampunk Tournament by OwenCat puts you in... This isn't supposed to happen? No! Puts you in a literal Steam workshop where you fight this drill enemy, and the lightning and hold absorb glitches are both really egregious here. I don't even want to do that because it keeps hurting me. Stupid glitch. See, what hurt me? Come on. That's bullshit, man. It's not fair. See? What the fuck was that? At this point in my interdimensional travels, I was also getting pretty sick of black barrier notes, let me tell ya. It comes together to make this battle feel really cramped. After beating the robot, we fight a key maker, make a copper key, open this door, and we're stuck. Door seems closed. Well, I guess that's as far as we're going. After restarting the mod again, refighting the first 2 enemies, and making sure not to go to the right side of the room before hitting the button, we reach the final encounter, Crow. Bizarrely, this is the easiest battle in the mod, meaning that the difficulty curve is upside down and it puts the hardest challenge at the start. The original music is really cool, and the enemy health pools are reasonable at least, but this one is just buggy. What the? Oh, that's not fair. Maybe they'll patch it after these messages. You surely get the deal by now, so I'll be quick. If you like what I do here, you can become a patron or YouTube member to gain special perks for just $1. So, if you want to see a secret room tour video, bedtime stories, and this... In a far distant clime where the praise are bold, lived a maiden fair as the prairie air, but her heart was always in a whirl, for she loved, yes, she loved someone awfully well. Then feel free to support the show. I'll be here. Nightclub Hoi by Maria Miracle has nothing to do with Temmie. It takes us to a Russian nightclub to witness the performance of our lives with some very energetic sprite work. Kazak even shows up. The whole package is very lovely. Thankfully, you don't have to KO the opponent, just enjoy the show. Is what I would say if I were an idiot. No, don't fall for their invitation to leave. Depleting the singer's health does do something. For proving our determination and vested interest in difficult challenges, we are awarded with a key to a secret second battle hidden behind a wall. This one is a lot faster and tougher, and despite the prevalence of regular notes, your absorbability is disabled and you cannot fight back, which means this time, you do only have to survive. Beating this one is its own reward. You know, I've been trying really hard not to let any secrets escape me so far. I can't believe Nightclub Hoy just tried to pull a fast one on me. Always remember to doubt your assumptions, folks. Now should be a good time to mention the 7 custom worlds we just went over, plus Castle Gargoyle and one we haven't gotten to yet, were all made for a custom worlds contest held by the gnomes to foster creativity. The theme was punk, whether that be steampunk, cyberpunk, daft punk, punk rock, street punk, or Robin Williams punk. Just like the mushroom submissions, everyone was a winner and got a collectible pin, sodium chloride.
Actually, dude, it's salt.
That's what I said.
No, dude, you said sodium chloride. Yes, it's the same as salt, but you could have just said salt instead. Everyone in this town knows you're a boy genius, dude. You don't need to say overly large words to sound more intelligent. The fact of the matter is that nobody cares how smart you are. If anything, calling simplistic objects by their scientific name ironically makes you seem less intelligent and more pompous. I know you're smart enough to be better than this.
It's hard, but it's very pretty. Mr. Epic strikes again with 25 seconds of hell. My bad, I meant to say 2.5 seconds. Look here, look, listen! I know I made a big deal about my credibility and seeing things through to the end earlier, but sometimes you have to know when to pick your battles. I understand my limits and I'm not looking to torture myself, you hear? I'm sorry. I'm only human. The only way to beat a game you can't win is to not play. Purple Skittles Hometown by Krabs, based on the Roblox game of the same name. There are 6 different battles and some quirky, Earthbound adjacent humor. Also, this map made me notice that Everhood 2 has no analog control even when using a joystick. You walk up this slope that's at a 30-degree angle, but your character is locked moving at 45 degrees diagonally. The battles in this one are much easier than those of its ilk, which I am thankful for, since these other ones really like to push it.
Just like how you're pushing my patience. It's getting thin, buddy. Thin like this wall.
Throughout the map, you can find these pushable blocks that you can put in your inventory, and down here at the bottom left corner is an easily missable path that you can slot them into. This leads us to a desert where half of the battles are hiding. Robin the Shoe Dude asks us to correct a crick in his neck by sending his attacks back at him, but then why is he firing black notes? I can't send those back. Dude, do you want your neck fixed or not? I have half a mind to send you over to Greg the Egg Stick, self-proclaimed killer on the loose.
I'm going to use both of these in a spoon to become a serial killer.
Oh baby, we're getting pretty deep into Everhood 2's hidden worlds now. Forklift by Ace Stone. What do you think this mod is? What do you think it is?
Ah, shit. I have to defeat this forklift. Oh. I'm being run over. It's in tune to the sound of a forklift? Ah!
I know what it is. It's bad. Neuro-sama Brain Power by Posio 300 is a mod where you fight a PNG of Neuro-sama who, in case you don't know, is an artificial intelligence and internet personality.
I'm also going to beat your ass at GeoGuessr.
Jesus Christ. Okay, hi, nice to meet you too, Neural.
And since she mercifully doesn't have too much health, I put in the work to do a classic one-hit challenge for the hell of it. It was kind of a pain since that intro is so freaking long, but the ecstasy of victory makes it all worth it, you see.
Yeah!
Versus Sweetheart by Fat Rat, aka Doggo, pits you against Sweetheart from Omori, and it's another Kaizo mod for the Steel-Hearted. Yeah, it's got all the hallmarks: black barrier notes, dangerously high HP, and relatively few regular notes to build a charge with. This is a battle that's more fun to watch than to play. Say, what's with this hatch in the corner? Oh. Seems we can smash watermelons, and destroying the one on the far left starts a battle that I hear is twice as hard as Sweetheart. Yep, that's impossible. This is like a cruel joke in physical form. Well, digital form. Omega Incinerator by Ivor, aka Anima, is the most unique mod out there, and the last from the 2025 Custom World Contest. It turns you 2D on the battle screen, and the computer occasionally pulls you in so you can play a scuffed, jury-rigged, hypercharged version of Everhood 1's Incinerator. It even gives you an invincibility dash to avoid all of this BS fluttering the screen. In the spirit of Everhood, the entire experience is trippy and unrestrained. Even the gnomes are in awe of its ingenuity. Some maniac ripped Everhood 2 open and made this. I'm impressed. Two Mages by Roketree. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. For some reason, many of these mods have the overworld music jacked up way too high, which is peculiar because the battle music is totally fine in the same mods. I don't know why it keeps happening. In this world, we fight static drawings of the author's OCs, and the battle suffers from the same glitches with holding notes. mods. If it's seeming like there's been a drop-off in presentation lately, that's because we're rapidly approaching Everhood 2's release date and are currently nearing the 1-month border, which is why some of these mods seem a little rushed. But also keep in mind that mods may be updated post-launch, so there could still be some gems buried in here somewhere. You know, a major thing missing from some of these custom battles are the animations of the enemy matched to what attacks they're using. It gives the encounter a lot of life and makes it feel like a dance battle. It's the entire point of the game. That's why these mods with no art or no animation don't feel like Everhood. Rasputin Again by Maria Miracle, which was actually referenced during Nightclub Hoyt. It's a rematch with Rasputin, but harder and with a new song and new moves, oh my! After making a mockery of the Mystic with style, we go back into the elevator, which was added by popular request. So upon entering, the elevator breaks and softlocks you. And then it plays elevator stuck because you just got trolled and now you're stuck. Classy. Furi the Burst by Jackson, another important member of the Everhood modding community based on the game Furi.
Oh god, that's loud.
This one is special because touching the lightning doesn't hurt you. Hooray! That was becoming awfully common lately.
I fucking hate that glitch. I hate that glitch so much.
Oh yeah, and the visuals are really cool too, I guess. A lot of love went into this one, clearly, to make the overworld and the battle feel like the game. This is also the second custom world where they let you have your weapon, but don't get too excited as the enemy doesn't have a health bar, so it's purely aesthetic since you have a sword in Furi. This and Omega Incinerator are alike in that they aren't content with the toys that the vanilla game came with. There are these homing drones that shoot notes at you. You have to defend yourself by parrying using the absorb button, which is kind of annoying and distracting, honestly. There's this part where you have to absorb notes and fire them at some cover to avoid being shot, which is also kind of finicky and the cast doesn't always go through. The hitboxes on these orange waves are also mega jank. Something's not quite right with them. Sometimes I think I've cleared them, but they catch my foot anyway, and other times I don't even try to dodge them and I'm completely fine. Oh no! Did we just trade one glitch for several more? A most twisted curse! And then it gets to a point where mechanics are piled on top of each other so intensely that it makes your head spin.
Can't see those orange waves. Can't see those orange waves. And that went toward the wrong target. What the fuck? It didn't hit the green barrier. Why? What?
But thankfully, as a silver lining, throughout this extended battle you are granted generous checkpoints, which is a relief considering the everything going on here. Frankly, without those, this mod would be unplayable. Imagine getting so far only to die to a glitch. Regardless, always gotta pay my respects to a high-effort custom world. The mod was playtested by, get this, Bongo Guy and Tomo, which is very surprising. What are they doing here? As we delve deeper into the workshop, we start to see how the mods are really all connected to each other and not as isolated as you might assume. For instance, in the comments of this mod, there's a user by the name Jack of Trades who created the next custom world, Humble Beginnings. In this mod, you battle the Red Dead Mushroom, the default NPC. That's it. Monolith 2, uploaded by our good friend Mr. Epic, but developed by Ribbo, is the sequel to Ribbo's Monolith mod for Everhood 1. Well, half sequel, half parody, really.
Hey man, I don't mean to alarm you, but we're in a shit post mod. It's not that serious. That's not me. I'm not Red. You come from such a shitty mod that needs to be purged from Mother Earth. Wait, this is a family-friendly game, right? Swearing's allowed? I will eat your children and then force you to devour your organs! Being edgy isn't making this mod funny. What I'm doing is wrong. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
For a shitpost, the battles are actually pretty polished, and the first fight is decently balanced and presented with some humor thrown in for good measure.
It's time for me to use my ultimate weapon, a gun! I don't know how to reload it.
And the second battle, against the original Monolith, has this cool effect where the notes appear from behind you, though it's much harder since the danger zone is noisier. I'm growing so weary of hard mods. I so deeply yearn for a change of pace. The 27th Dimensional Museum by Jacob K027 is just the world I was waiting for. We are guided through an exhibition displaying paintings depicting mods created for Everhood 1 by the author, hosted by the oscilloscope-headed XYZ. My, I didn't realize this was going to be a history museum. Sodium. Some of the mods referenced include Catsley, Meowter Space, Eva Dude, The World Revolving, JK027's Projectile Tutorial, Rob is Sick Error, Logic Gatekeeper, Discontrolled Galaxy, Host Hoedown, and interacting with this picture brings us into a throwback battle with Friendly. The fight is chaotic, but fortunately not too demanding thanks to the low health pool. At last, after so much hardship, I can chill back, relax, and explore a new area without being hounded by tough battles. I jinxed it. After growing tired of staring at a painting of the best game ever, Just Shapes and Beats, we can go up to find some doors. The Delta Green door takes us to a small science lab where we can battle this Moe girl named Viridia. The fight is okay. The Indigo door, on the other hand, takes us to a much bigger, more in-depth area. 2 easy security drone fights, a quiz, and a surprise attack from Zob. Later, we confront the Ultramarine Mage in the Mirror of Truth's room.
Do you want to be worthy so bad? Do you want me to destroy you? Do you really want to fight? Then let it be!
At first, everything seems normal. The character is well animated, the sprite work is very nice, the song is cool, and the note patterns clearly aren't impossible level. So, what I'm getting at is, I was stuck here for 80 minutes! Twice as long as TVPR! And it actually has the exact same problem as that fight, where the battle is mostly fine, but there's just one part where it speeds up that I would die to every time. Oh, if only they had just a little less health. Out of character for this mod, really, where HP was generally on the lower side as far as Everhood 2 custom battles are concerned. Again, just like the Dead Signal Spire, which was relatively tame until we hit the difficulty spike. On the bright side, the lightning doesn't hurt you in this mod. Small blessings. What separates this from a Kaizo battle is that it's actually feasible to build up a decent combo, which is a curse in its own right. You see, what ends up happening is I get the idea that if I don't do well on the easy parts, then my chances of victory are slim, so I have to absorb as many notes in a row as I can before the choke point arrives. Suddenly, the margin for error shrinks threefold. I'm not worrying about surviving anymore because getting hit once and losing my charge is enough to kill a run. Now I'm not just going against the Ultramarine Mage, I'm also fighting myself. Because if I don't do enough damage early, it'll screw me over later, like this attempt where I survived the impossible section and then tripped at the end.
No!
That was 28 minutes in. I lost an hour of my life because of that slip. I even accidentally closed out of the mod during one of my attempts Aaron Hansen style.
No! I hit end!
No!
I hit end! No!
No!
Fuck everything!
No! What have I done?
Fuck you!
The song that plays during this track is called Descent by DM Dokuro. In case you don't know, Dokuro is Japanese and means skull. You can remember it easily because it kinda sounds like Duskull. This is also the word they shout in the background of Team Skull's themes. Fun fact. Thus, this track represents a Deathhead's descent into madness, a reflection of my own existence. As I look past the mage and gaze upon the mirror of truth, I see myself and am forced to overcome my own inner darkness. I see now. Screw the angel. This is my dragon hiding away from me amongst the mods. I could have given up like I did with the other unbeatable battles, but I didn't. The mod hooked me in with its world and the promise that I could open this door and see the ancient entity if I won. I didn't know about debug mode yet either. Through some kind of gaming magic, on my winning attempt I made it through the impossible section, giving me the opportunity to do enough damage to close the battle, but I choked twice, had to navigate it 2 more times, and I somehow survived! This part that always killed me, I miraculously got through 3 times in a row when I truly needed it, even when I thought it was all over. Cause it's not over till it's over.
We have an internal saying that whenever things just click and work out to our advantage, we say the gnomes are with us.
Fuck you! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Jesus Christ! Ah!
After that ordeal, we find that this mod is the third in existence to give us our weapons. That rules. Dragon slain and soul weapon comfortably in hand, we confront the ancient entity.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. That's very funny.
Yeah, it's just Catsley, bringing back elements from the original Everhood mods. This fight is still challenging, but it's slower and less stressful, making this like the victory lap. Having our soul weapon helps too, since we get a damage boost from blue notes. Though, I was obviously still recovering from the previous battle here.
Shit. Okay. Don't show! No!
It's odd that they spoil this comedic twist in the paintings by naming the ancient entity, but whatever. I'm just going to savor my victory before we move on to the final 5th of our little mod showcase here. Alright, time to suffer. From the maker of Versus Sweetheart, here's chartspace. Fun fact, if you sort these mods by popularity, chartspace is at the very bottom. We are plopped into a nexus of 8 doors leading to battles that are all bullshit, except fair enough, which is okay. There's this crappy Megalovania battle, this crappy Bone Trousel battle that has really awful sound with headphones on, as well as wavy black barrier notes, which are not in the main game for a reason.
What the fuck hit me?
There's Lava Chicken from the Minecraft movie, which is special because the battle only initiates if you say no. Like they knew no one wanted to put up with this shit. This is also true for Megalovania. There's also a Flint and Steel song to complete the pair. Yay. Here's cats. Self-explanatory.
I don't see any cats. How am I surviving this? Jeez. Oh, fuck. Must be better at this game than I thought. Fuck!
Oh, that wasn't enough? Here's Cats Squared.
You know, just more battles without any art, pre-existing music, really little creativity, just like, hey, put all this shit on the screen. No.
You know, since every custom world comes with a 6-digit code, we could get some interesting results if we punch both sets of 3 digits into the Pokédex. So, with the number 143, this mod's spirit Pokemon is Snorlax, who I hear ate an entire bucket of plant-based chicken wings and then charted the next track. Door sets the notes to the tune of a door creaking and then leaves you in purgatory.
Very funny. This might be the worst one yet.
And worst of all, because every battle is a trap, you have to quit to the lobby and re-input the code every time you want to try the next track. Cruel. Don't play it. Trick your friend into playing it as a prank this April Fool's Day. Oh, but when you do, make sure to tell them to try and interact with one of these trucks moving around. Why? Well, you see, remember that spreadsheet I flashed on screen a little while ago featuring some mods that aren't on the workshop? Well, that made me a little suspicious, because 2 particular entries were noted as being part of chartspace, which I thought I had seen the depths of. No, these trucks are not for decoration like you would assume. And interacting with either of them will lead to battles where the theme is,
When you're dueling with the night and you can't survive the fight, cause the shadow mantle's might fades too rapidly.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
So, this is the thing hiding in the abyss that Shade was afraid of, huh? Everhood 2 came out 3 months before Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, but it would seem the creator had a stroke of inspiration that summer and added these in a July update. And it won't stop there, my friends, because sometime soon it's getting another update with more tracks and more trolls. Yeah! Okay, you know what? I shouldn't have ignored this. Without a workshop page, I don't know precisely when each of these were made, so we're doing a bonus round of the 4 5-ish mods that are download only, right now. Here we go. The Seconds of Hell series, 45 Seconds of Hell, 60 Seconds of Hell, and 60 Seconds of Hell Squared, charted by Mr. Epic and animated by his partner in crime. Mr. Epic made 25 Seconds of Hell all by himself in one day, which is why it had no graphics, unlike these ones. Ugh. These were originally Everhood 1 mods that they sadistically decided to port to Everhood 2. The gimmick of all 3 is that you have to hold a charge at the start and then clear the entire 45-60 seconds without getting hit, sand style, then catch the final note you need to deplete Cubic Sans' 1 HP. Evil, evil, evil. I stared into the abyss and this is what it stared back with. Annihilate by Doggo, creator of Chartspace, and the other main culprit behind all of these intense Kaizo mods. Many of you may know Annihilate by Destroyed as the track for the final boss of Just Shapes and Beats, which is a game that the first Everhood had a lot in common with. I think it's less accurate to say this track is based on the boss, and rather that both battles are based on the song, as this track doesn't have much in the way of graphics or theming resembling the game. The closest references are the appearance of this pink triangle and the vice grip at the end of the encounter, which matches the final moment of Annihilate in Just Shapes and Beats. Come on, at least make the notes pink or something. Annihilate's spirit Pokemon are Hydreigon and Gumi. Undertale Yellow Flowey, unnerved by Doggo. Spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, based on the final boss of the game's neutral route. It starts off tame, but cranks up the up yours energy as it goes on. And on, and on. This track is longer than school. You know, having checkpoints would have made a lot of sense here, given the multiple phases. Fury the Burst comes to mind, which is still considered challenging despite its generosity. That aside, this is actually some of Doggo's best work. The visual aesthetic is stellar.
Now I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. It's a high 7. It's closer to an 8
than a 6.
And at last, like lightning, Doggo strikes again with light speed, which tops the charts on the no-hit section of the spreadsheet, meaning this is one of the most difficult Everhood 2 custom battles ever made. Well, if you don't count the ones that nobody has beaten yet. What the hell else do I even need to say? Accounting for its obscurity and difficulty, none but one player in history has ever conquered it. Jis, a bloody legend at this game, and the creator of Egoless, currently the only illegal track due to having the number 8 in its code, which means God canonically won't allow it to be accessed via the elevator, so we get to skip it. Praise the Lord. Well, there is another way to load it. If you place the mods file in the test mod folder within the local game files, open the game, then press F6 while on the title screen, it will load the test mod. Oh yeah, and don't try loading the mod by pressing F6 while in another custom world, or else it'll bug out. And after doing all that, Egoless is actually a lot more fair and fun than you would expect. Certainly more manageable than other Kaizo mods, but it's also long as hell, 9 minutes. It stinks to nail the first 8 minutes and then trip at the end with no checkpoints, you know? This mod is banished, so I really shouldn't be talking about it, but it's on the list, so I guess I have to. Oh, and by the way, if you ever use F6 to load a mod, do not quit the mod to go back to the Hilbert Hotel, or else you'll return at level 1 with no items and you can permanently save over your file if you walk near the save point. Your game is saved automatically and the save points activate just by going near them. This can be annoying occasionally because sometimes you don't want to save. Wow. That really sucks. Wait, last minute addition. Jis is not done with us yet and brings us Onigiri Freeway. Fuck. It's too fast. My fingers physically can't hit the buttons quick enough. Why would someone design something to be so unreasonable, you might think? Well, the truth is, these battles aren't being made with average players in mind, which is the mindset I've been using to judge the workshop mods. What if some schmo played it, you know? In reality, this is just a few guys trying to one-up and troll each other by making hard battles and not releasing them publicly because, well, they're not for anyone else. They even keep score. These bonus mods are a niche of a niche of a niche that I have incepted today. But I think 2 niches deep is deep enough. Phew, we're back in the Steam Workshop where it's safe. Onward then. Frogs Are Friends by Posio300, who did the Neuro-sama mod in case you forgot. It ports the fight with Frog from Everhood 1 into the game, but only the first tutorial fight. You can play a version with Everhood 2 style of combat where the track loops, and one in Everhood 1 style where you couldn't fight back, and that's kinda it. Of all the awesome battles they could have brought back from Everhood 1, they picked Frog? Perchance they were picked precisely because the fight was so simple and thus easy to remake. Just kind of nothingy. Not really for me. Polypolyphemus by Redacted is another example like the last one where it seemed like the modder was experimenting with the tools rather than articulating a vision. Telling you right now, despite the name and thumbnail, this mod has nothing to do with the Odyssey or Homestuck. Its true inspiration is revealed upon jumping down this hole.
Oh, what the fuck? Void Stranger.
Let us not linger any longer. Mother's Love by Roded. Spoiler alert, 1, 2, 2, 1. Adapts the iconic pacifist route final boss from Undertale Yellow in a pretty fun encounter. Zeroba will sometimes send yellow notes at us so we can smash through incoming barriers, which is unique, and a clever callback to the mechanic from the real fight. This battle is an endurance for the full 4 minutes and change, but it's more doable than some of the other chaos we've seen. Even though Zeroba doesn't have a visible health bar, you're still expected to beat the encounter by fighting back, or it loops. There is one section in the middle that allows you to farm the firepower you need, however, it's rife with the holding note glitch, so it's kind of a waste. Getting the cast off doesn't trigger any new content anyway, so just survive till the end and then quit for the best experience. Share of Divine Truth by Ivor, the Omega Incinerator chap. In this mod, you fight a chair, who clearly is the one that taught the forklift and sent away the door in disgrace. This mod gives you 5 HP. The hold note glitch keeps ruining my combos. Come on, what hasn't been said at this point? Oh, here's something. If you look closely, you'll notice both Chair of Divine Truth and Omega Incinerator use the same first 3 digits in their codes, the Pokedex number for Blissey. Omega Incinerator Sphere Pokemon, number 111, would thus be Rhyhorn, and this one, 477, just happens to be Dusk Noir. Ivor, you one-eyed bastard. And here we are. Behold, friends, the very first custom world created after Everhood 2's release. Terribleus Modeus by Andrew.stm.
Fuck you. Wait a sec. Kinda spoiled this in the thumbnail, mate.
That was the entire thing. This mod sucks. You know what Andrew could have done to fix terribleus modeus and improve the mod? Nothing. It would have been better if they just not even tried. Wait a minute, that's not constructive. What the hell am I saying? All of these mods, even the ones I don't care for, even the ones that drive me mad, even the ones that don't function, are worthy of existing, no matter how odd, no matter how flawed. Even a bad joke has its place. Do we not learn from, nor be inspired by, their peculiar failings as much as we are by their successes? Who am I to say such scathing remarks when they have created such art when I have all but not? A little art project. Arts. But where to start? Well, there indeed exists such a place to learn. Recall, I said this custom world was the first to be made after Everhood 2 release. Verily, that there lies a 0th room that existed even before this one, before Everhood 2 came out. That mysterious, primordial custom world would be Painter's Room by All-Seeing, another MVP of the modding community and the artist for many Mr. Epic exploits, released on February 21st, a week and a half before Everhood 2 launched. You see, All-Seeing was a tester, consultant, and 3-time mushroom maker on the game, as well as the French translator. She was granted access to the Everhood 2 modding tools before the game released, allowing her to put this together as a sort of example of what can be done. This custom world is the most faithful to the main game in look and feel. Riley even has some dialogue during it and calls us by name. I'm home. It still has the hallmark glitches though, like the hold note bug, lightning trails hurting you, and the overworld music being strangely loud, which at this point I am used to and won't fault the mod over. In this world, we attend an art class, and the art teacher is offended by our life portrait and battles us over it, which matches Everhood 2's encounters in both balance and style. The character of Marcelo the painter wouldn't feel out of place in Everhood at all, and bears a striking resemblance to the barber. As an added attention to detail, the portrait you paint before the battle can be 1 out of 6. The one I did, Blue Then Purple, got us Marcelo, apparently the worst bastardization since the Jesus Restoration painting, or one of the Disney live-action remakes. Blue Then Orange gets us Boole from the Smega Station world, as well as a perfect score for our artistic integrity. Yellow Then Purple gets us Heidi, the barkeeper for the 10,000 Club in the Scam District, but Mark says it is stylistically bankrupt. Yellow Then Green gets us Riley. Just sort of drew what we saw there, really. And the painter gives us another top score for our sincere and authentic caricature. Red Then Orange gets us... Oh no! It seems we just copied Pixel, whom is sat beside us. Naughty, naughty. And finally, Red Then Green gets us Irvin, which the painter gives a 2 out of 10!
That's so! Look how perfect that picture is!
After beating that hack Marcilla, we find the gold at the end of the rainbow, Everhood 2's greatest secret, Bob Ross. After spending 20 years in the Air Force, retiring, and taking up painting, it would seem Bobby managed to abandon humanity, time, and accept immortality. Ross encourages us that perhaps the great work of art we yearn for will not be found in this mod, but rather shall be brought about by our own hand, facilitating the creation of more custom worlds. The world you paint could be a masterpiece. It could be trash. It could be based on Everhood. It could be based on another world. It could be unoriginal. It could even be wholly its own new thing. Anything that you want, you can build here. This is your world. In the spirit of shade, go out and make some art. Everhood taught us that all things must eventually come to an end, that from a certain point of view, death is not oblivion, but closure. But Everhood 2 showed us how all things are part of a cycle, and that art is the key to infinity. The mod prime number, 31, asterisk, that stat can only go up as more custom worlds are created, and that's why we went backwards today, so we can eventually find the end of eternity. This is it. The last loose thread. This is the deepest secret of Everhood 2.
What did he mean by this?
It truly is special, you know, how you are able to make your own fun. Some mods sought to give us new challenges, some saw the opportunity for a more creative endeavor, and a special few brought us the best of both worlds. To recap, the toughest challenges that I managed to beat without cheating were Final TVPR for 40 minutes, the Wells March of Wigia for 46 minutes, Dave One Shot for 58 minutes, and then finally Ultramarine Mage for 80 minutes. For reference, One Shot Bobo was the mightiest challenge for me in vanilla Everhood 2, and that took only 30 minutes. And 100 minutes was how long it took me to defeat and kill the Light Being from Everhood 1, meaning the gnomes themselves still hold the record in bringing me despair. There's a reason I walked away from Everhood with a sour face 5 years ago. And now we're here! What a redemption! If I did not truly believe Everhood 2 were a fun game, nor that there was still anything left to learn, I would not have taken such a long side quest this far. I was pretty harsh in my review of the game, and yeah, I had my reasons. But now, I just just want to cut the little underdogs some slack. We all saw it. Making a game is not easy. Making a good game is even more not easy. Granted, the very worst mods are made by trolls, but some others do suffer from the creator's genuine inexperience. Castle Gargoyle promised 15 battles in its world, started 5, but completed 3, and is sat neglected for months without updates. And I empathize with that. It's easy to start a project, but it's not easy to finish it, you know? But you can't just let it go because you've already devoted yourself to it, so it needs to be done and it needs to be good. Or perhaps that's the sunk cost fallacy speaking, and you need to realize that pursuing completion or perfection merely feeds our egos and nothing more. Then again, I made this video right now at this point in time because if I didn't, then it would have sat on a shelf for a year and that would have driven me nuts. Give up or press on, insanity or stagnation, that is the artist's dilemma. We can work on solving that later though. In the meantime, if you have the game, all of these mods are available for free and even more madness is in the works. Now, go have fun!
Where is the fun? Who should I turn to? Where's the fun? How can I learn who? Who is the one? The one I can trust to tell me what's fun. Where is the fun? Why should I trust you? He was the one. You were the one who wanted to shun